Welcome to an exclusive look at the 22nd Harvard India Conference, ICH 2025, a landmark event that brought together over 1,000 attendees, 90 plus speakers, and 30 plus insightful panels at the Harvard Kennedy School and Harvard Business School on February 15 and 16, 2025.
Hello from the Harvard India Conference 2025 from Harvard University here in Boston. This year's theme is From India to the World. We are meeting some of the best minds from India and the Indian diaspora here at Harvard, and we can't wait to share rich insights and discussions with all of you.
This year's theme, From India to the World, explored India's transformative impact on the global stage, from economic growth and digital innovation to cultural influence and sustainability.
The conference is our humble attempt at showcasing the idea of India through our lens.
For the first time, the conference introduced Launchpad at ICH, a dynamic platform showcasing India's entrepreneurial spirit, artistic innovation, and policy-driven solutions.
Post-IPO, everyone's having a harder time investing in these companies. Of course, there are some lessons we've learned.
Hi everyone, my name is Sanchi and I have with me Karthik, Ayush and Arpit. We are all the co-chairs of the 22nd edition of the India Conference at Harvard. I think reflecting back, the 2 days firstly went by pretty quickly, and it was a celebration of India from grassroots to space and everything in between. So if I had to give you a sense around what topics we discussed, it ranged from climate, food, capital markets, economy, to entrepreneurship, innovation, technology, AI, fintech, and a lot of other things that we sort of try to incorporate in the conference this year. Honestly, we had a massive footprint in this edition.
And in fact, so the India conference has been the largest student-run event of its kind in the US for several years, but I think this year we beat all records we've set in the past. So we were very grateful that over 1,000 people attended the conference over its 2 days. We had about 80 plus speakers across 30 odd panels and very big turnout. And what was most heartening was that behind this was probably the biggest team that we've had. So we had about 50 to 70 people from across Harvard schools. So we had the people from the design school, the education school, the business school, and Kennedy School. And so it was a labor of love that a lot of people put a lot of hard work over almost 9 months to come up with.
And the sheer breadth of topics that we discussed over the 2 days, I think that really stood out for me. From someone like Mrs. Nita Ambani talking about taking Indian education, sports, culture to the world, to Suchitra Ella talking about how Indian healthcare industry is shaping forces in the world. I think those kind of things really resonated with a lot of people that attended the conference. We also had somebody like Sabyasachi, who's been the face of Indian culture in a lot of platforms over multiple years, and then him sharing his thoughts. I think that was really inspiring for a lot of people that we had at the conference.
And then in addition to the stellar lineup of speakers that we had, I think this year we wanted to be a little bit experimental, try new things, and sort of move the conference from just being passive listening for the audience to more of active dialogue and participation. So we introduced a bunch of new things that weren't part of previous editions. That included the policy hackathon at the Kennedy School, the startup pitch competition at the business school, but also things like the art workshop where we gave a variety of different artists, not only a podium to showcase their art, but also for people to engage in an art workshop. And so this year was quite a revolution for this conference.
We couldn't be happier. I think we would, in the end, just like to thank everyone who came together to make this a huge success. And we wish that the legacy continues with the next team on. Thank you.
The first day at Harvard Kennedy School was packed with powerful discussions on policy, media, society, and sustainability. The second day moved to Harvard Business School, where discussions shifted to innovation, technology, and India's startup ecosystem.
Whose transformative work and unwavering commitment continue to inspire
millions across the globe, Mrs. Nita Ambani. A big round of applause.
The highlight of ICH 2025 was Nita Ambani's inspiring speech. She emphasized India's youth, its powerful diaspora, and groundbreaking innovations as the key to global leadership.
I want to thank you all so much for making my mother so happy today. Well, about my childhood. I think my childhood was like a fairy tale. We lived in an ancestral home called Bapu Villa in the suburbs of Mumbai.
Our idea is to take people to the world, and we are just getting started.
As ICH 2025 wrapped up, one thing was clear. India is not just rising, it is leading. From its economic ambitions to its cultural and technological strengths, this conference set the stage for India's bold global future.